Chill. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back, and I done did it again. One more time. That should be getting people mad. But listen, man. Let's talk about it. Where should you start learning to code? Very simple. If you are a beginner, right, and you really want to learn how to code, go to CodingPhase.com. You start there. You get over 60 courses that you can learn for just $20. Okay, and if you act now on the description, you might see a coupon code that gives you 50% off. All right. Now, the first stage that every single one of you guys need to go through to become a developer, and I'm talking about a web developer, is the understanding of how websites work. How does a website work? What are the inner technologies that you need to learn to just get started, right? And that is HTML, CSS. That's the first thing. Sometimes people think that you got to learn how to program to really start making websites. And it all comes down to HTML, CSS. Okay? That's it. HTML, CSS. That's where it starts. Okay? If you go to any website that you visit, any website that you like to go to every day, that you like to check out, okay, you could go to your browser and click on where it says view, and then from there you could click on view page source. Okay? Or you could right click on the screen and start off from there and click on where it says inspect element. Everything that you're seeing there, once you do that, that's all HTML. Okay? Once you go through that process of understanding what HTML is, right, then you want to give the stylings. The stylings is pretty much CSS. This is how you give it color. This is how you give it spacing. This is how you give it the font's a size. This is how you give a background color. This is how you give the fonts different color, right? This is how you get to align how big a image is, how small you want it to be, right? You start with that. You start with the basics. I see a lot of people that feel like they have to go in and learn something that's more complicated, like they need to be a master of JavaScript, or they got to learn some type of programming language just to be productive. And in reality, if you're able to take a design and you're able to convert it to HTML, CSS, there's a place for you out here. Okay, you can start working. There's a lot of companies that are hiring people that just know how to do that. Okay, now you might hear from some people that say, well, that's not true, Joe, right? I've been looking around and I've been trying to get a job at xyz.com. I've been trying to get a job at littlebillys.net, right? I've been trying to get a job at youngdavis.org, right? I've been trying to get a job in these places, and I can't get a job with just HTML, CSS, right? But the problem is that a lot of people start looking for certain titles, certain job titles. Okay, if you go in and you say, well, I want to get a front-end engineer position, it's more than just learning how to convert a design to HTML, CSS, right? Now, if you start looking with just HTML on Indeed.com, you can find a whole bunch of jobs. There's product editor, content editor, HTML email, marketing coordinator. There's webmaster. There's a whole bunch of jobs. Like, we could go here and go crazy. There's jobs in hospitals where they need you to know HTML, CSS. Okay, there's jobs in all type of industries, in companies where they might have warehouses, right? If you know how to use HTML, CSS, it's easy for you to learn XML. Okay, that's another thing that you can learn and you could get a job with that most people don't know it, right? It's like there's jobs that you don't even know that they exist. But if you focus on just trying to get a front-end engineer or back-end engineer, right, type job, then yeah, you're limiting yourself to the type of jobs that you can get. And some of those jobs, they're asking for more than just HTML, CSS. You gotta know JavaScript. You gotta know at least one database. You gotta know how to build a full stack application, right? Somebody hit me yesterday on a live stream and they're like, Joe, a lot of the companies here, matter of fact, it wasn't on the live stream, it was on email. One of the guys hit me up. It's like, yo, I'm in California, and here they're looking for a lot of guys that know full stack. Like, I applied to places for being a front end developer, but they still don't call me back because they're asking if I have experience with the back end, right? And that's the thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna find situations like that where they're asking more than what the job really requires. And that's because they want to be able to say, you know what, we hired this guy, he's going to be a front-end guy, but let's say the guy who's a back-end guy, he's not here today, or he's sick, or whatever, right? He could pick up his slack. You get what I'm saying? They want you to be an overall engineer. So that's what it is. But Usman Jelani, shout out to Usman, shout out to Mike X, shout out to Tyler Benton, shout out to Eric Williams. Let me see. Shout out to Cesar Lara. Let me see. Shout out to Sean McLean. Who else? Boy. Shout out to Coke Pro. Who else is in here? We got a couple of people. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Let me just get out of here. Let me get out of the road. I'm in the middle of the road, kids. Yeah, man. So yeah, let's see. Today I was doing your HTML CSS course. Yeah, nice. I'm actually gonna be doing a new HTML CSS course for you guys, a 2020 version. And what I'm probably gonna be doing is, instead of having separate courses for the HTML, CSS, and CSS Grid and Flexbox, I'm gonna create a new course, and I'm just gonna merge everything together. Let me see, with all those templates available, do we still need to learn HTML, CSS? Of course. Shahid, don't be fooled by templates. Like, just because you see that there's templates out there, most companies are not buying a template. The people who are buying the template is the people that actually, like, let's say, are like really, really small businesses, or like a guy might not know how, or a guy who does know how to code but want to save some time. Now, okay, cool. Now, a company that is hiring developers, they have a team. They have a team of developers, they have a team of designers, and then the designers get the design, then they pass it down to the developers. So templates is not that common for big companies to be using. Sometimes they do, but not. Let me see. CoPro, Joe, what kind of car do you have? I don't even want to talk about it. There's people. Yesterday I did a live stream and we was talking about, how to save money and this and that, and we got a young David in there like, yo man, what are we talking about? We're talking about coding, or what is this? I'm like, da da da. Like, we're talking about money. What are we talking about? Da da da. So it's like, no, that's it, man. It's a Benz. That's it. That's all you need to know, man. It's the big body. What's the big body one that they got? You do your Googles. That's what we got. How you doing? Give me a second, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. So I got the prescription. I went to a doctor and got Yeah. Hey guys, I'm actually at some Walgreens trying to get some medication. Take care of myself.
Did you want to go today or tomorrow?
For today.
Today? Okay, today after 2:30 they'll be ready, okay?
Okay, thank you. All right, man. That's nice. You know what, man? Let's take a little drive, guys. Let's hang out for a little bit. You know, I was gonna stop the live stream. I said, yeah, that's it. We're done. And let's hang out, okay? Let's hang out for a little bit, okay? See if I go get me a little sandwich. I haven't had a turkey sandwich in a long time. So let's go to Jersey. I think they call it Jersey Mike's or something like that. It's like a sandwich. It's a sub sandwich store or something. I mean, what you call it? Sub sandwich restaurant, whatever. So let's get a little something. Let's see. Answering any questions you guys want to talk about, let's do it. And let's try to keep it within 3 minutes, 5 minutes, so we could just answer a whole bunch of different questions. Yeah, Joe, I finally got my first interview. I was begging to lose hope. I thought it was all cap. That what? Oh, you was beginning to lose hope. Oh, sorry. Yeah, nah, man. The jobs is out there, bro. People be acting like there's no jobs. Like when I come in here and talk about all these things, people be acting like I'm capping or some shit. Like, nah, bro. It's real life. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get here to where I'm at by not working. And that's why I tell you guys, like, you got to work for somebody at first so you could pretty much get your shit together, get your life together, pay your bills, right? Pay your debts. You know, if you're broke, put some money in your pocket. If you don't have a car, so you can buy a car. You know, a lot of people don't understand, you know, how important having a car is. People take it for granted. You know, some people that do have a car that take them from point A to point B, they're like, oh man, it's just a car, da da da. But having a car is very important because, you know, it opens doors for you to not only just work in your local area, but then you could also go an extra half an hour or maybe an hour away from you for better opportunities. You know, sometimes people stay in an area without ever leaving because they don't even have a car. You know, it's people that's just used to, like in New York City, a lot of people are used to the public transportation, and people don't even know that if they go to, you know, Long Island or they go to upstate New York, they could probably make more money and live a better lifestyle than living in New York City. You know, it's the same thing for a lot of people that live in small towns. If you live in a small town and you don't got a car, how you gonna go to work in the big city where there might be all the jobs? You get what I'm saying? So when you get your first job as a developer, it's like you want to maintain yourself and you want to take care of yourself. All of the things that you got to take care of, your debts, your credit, your, you know, all your freaking your car, whatever it is, right? Set yourself up. Your first 2-3 years is just you getting your life in order. That's why I always tell people. I mean, that's how it was for me. You know, I had to get my life in order, get my credit up, get all of my shit paid for, right? And then from there, now you can start stacking up some bread, you know, put some savings on the side, start investing in yourself more, investing in stocks and things like that. But first, you got to take care of the things that is close to you first, you know. So let's see what else. Where you get a Supreme mask? We got it from the Supreme store. Nah, we ordered it online, man. We ordered it online. Is it legit? I don't know. I don't know about that. Because I looked online. I was trying to buy a legit one, but I couldn't. They don't have it. What's up, y'all? That's what Jocelyn says. Okay, shout out to Jocelyn. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here in Florida, man. If you guys would see it, man, you would really love this right now. Listen, it looks like JavaScript is more in demand in India than Python, so I will go with JavaScript. Yeah. Is it wrong to leave an employer after 18 months if they trained you? Nah, leave. You did your job, you did your part. Nobody said you was gonna freaking die with them. You know, like people act like they give you some training and they think like they own you. It's like, nah, I was working for you. I did the job that you want me to do. I did the task that you wanted me to do. Okay, that's it. Everything in life has an expiration date. You know, because when they want to drop you off and say, you know what, sorry, Jocelyn, we don't have no work for you, or sorry, Jocelyn, you came in late too many times. Sorry, Jocelyn, oh, your mom was sick and you took too many sick days and this and that. You get what I'm saying? Like when it comes to that, they'll let your ass go. They don't even give you a warning, so you don't need to give no warning to no job. That's the truth. You know, sometimes people act like this thing is a family. There's no family in this game. It's just a team. Just like the guy from Netflix, the CEO of Netflix said it. He's like, hey man, at Netflix, we're not a family. It's a team. You know? And what's going on in teams? Teams get traded. Guys get put on a free agent list, right? A guy just bought a house, $10 million in LA. He just bought it. The coach knows it. The CEO knows it, right? The doctor in the health program knows it, that this player just bought this $10 million home. But you know what they'll do? They'll freaking throw your ass out. Trade you. I just bought a house. Sorry, kid, you got traded to Wyoming. You're playing in the D League. You know what I mean? Like, nobody cares. Same thing as jobs, right? It's just a team. Sometimes people think it's a family. It's not a family. Stop thinking this shit is a family. None of these people, tomorrow you get hurt, nobody cares. Nobody's going to cry for you. They're going to be like, damn, somebody got to fill in that spot. That's it. I said this 3 years ago in 2017. Somebody talked about this and they're like, man, should I leave my job? Listen, when they want to freaking fire you, nobody gives you a warning. Nobody tells you, hey man, by the way, in 2 months from now, we're going to have to let you go. So start saving up money. They just come in and fire you the day that you do some crazy outlandish purchase. You know? They're like, hey man, oh, you just bought a crib? Cool. By the way, you're fired. You know, like that's how they do it. And you gotta be smart. You gotta know that you're here in this world by yourself, man. Even family, even if you think like family is here for you, family is here when you're a little kid. When you're an adult, it ain't no family. Nobody's gonna come in and handle and take care of your business or help you out how you think people will. So you gotta take care of yourself, you know? That's just how it is. Let me see. What's good? Yo, Joe, how much JavaScript basics should I know? Well, you should be able to manipulate the DOM. That's the first thing. Okay? Understand how that works. Understand how arrays work. Okay? Arrays are very important in JavaScript. Understand how objects work in JavaScript. Understand how Ajax work. You know, nowadays people call it doing API calls, right? Knowing how to do API calls, which is get request, post request, put, patch, delete. How does that work? Okay. Maybe some JavaScript animations, you know, that could always be helpful. And that's pretty much it, you know, and just know the programming language. That's it, the basics of it. The idea is that if I give you a task and I say, hey, I want you to create a slider here. You could create the slider. Somehow, some way, you could figure out how to create a slider. There's a million ways of creating a slider. Okay? If you could do that, then you're good. Okay? You understand how to manipulate the DOM. If I say, hey, communicate with this API, pull in the data, and then from there, sort the data accordingly, right? And each object within this array that's coming from that data where you did that GET request is going to come back, right, with an image. Display the image on the screen. That's it. Like, it's simple little things that some of you guys might say, this shit is easy, Joe. Well, it is, because that's the fundamentals. Everything that's complex in JavaScript, you have to understand that there's a fundamentals behind it. That if you understand the fundamentals, you can build anything. That's it. Let me see. Jennifer Strong. Expiration date. Yeah, there's an expiration date to everything, man. Relationships got an expiration date. You know, friendships got an expiration date. You know, everything has an expiration date. It could be either because y'all don't care about each other or somebody died. It's that simple, right? That's where it comes down to. You know, you think you have a job that's forever. Your job is not there forever, bro. Homegirl, it's not gonna be there forever. That shit comes with an expiration date. Companies get sold. The new company says, you know what? We don't need you because we already have somebody that does what you do in our company, and we just bought your company, so you gotta go. We're not leaving our guy behind. You know what I'm saying? You're gone. No more job. Hey, freaking, you came in late a couple of times. People don't understand that where you live, there might be more traffic. They don't care about that. You know? No heartfelt, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro, you came in late. Every day, you're supposed to be here at 9 o'clock, you come here at 9:05 every day. Sir, but I gotta go up the stairs, I gotta go up the elevator, there's people in the elevator. I don't care. You're fired. That's it, expiration date. You know what I mean? Uh, Fucking, you get to a point where you're earning too much money. You at a company, and let's say, for example, you at a company for 10 years, 15 years. It's easier for them to let you go than continue to pay you. Because what happens is, now you're getting paid for one job, but you're getting paid as if you was doing two jobs. So for example, a guy that's working at a company, um, and I was like watching this the other day from this company in North Carolina. They were talking about this, like their employees were talking to Trump about this. So there's guys that were software engineers at this company, which is a subdivision of the government, right? And basically, what happened was a lot of them they told them like, yo, we're letting you go. And the guys is like, yo, I've been here for 15 years. Like, what you mean you letting me go? And they're like, yeah, we letting you go. We got to give you the boot. And then what it really came down to was the fact that a lot of them, because they were there since, you know, the early 2000s, you know, by now they're earning like 150, 170 grand a year, because every year you get a certain promotion and you get more money, right? But at some point, that company is like, yo, why are we going to pay this person $175,000 when we could go fire him, let him go for whatever reason, and then from there, hire two guys for that same price? You get what I'm saying? So that's when that shit comes with an expiration date. You're gone. You thought that you was gonna be there forever. You're loyal forever. Nah, bro. And that's where I tell you guys, like, yeah, you gotta learn how to become a boss at some point. You know, if you've been at a company for 15 years and you've been making them millions of dollars, or you've been helping them to become successful, you can do the same thing for yourself. But the problem is that people don't want to take risk. If you don't take a risk in your life on something like this, like, you're gonna be just another dude in this world, like, just floating around and people pushing you around. It's like you ever seen like a beach ball, right? That shit is super light and people just push it around. That's what you want to become in this world, a beach ball, where it's like, oh, cool, we used him on this side, and let's throw him the other way. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You're a little beach ball in the air. You know, put some weight in your shit. You know, become a basketball. At least you're out here looking like a beach ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. In the country where I reside, you only have 1 month to leave the country if you are terminated or you look for another job within the 1 month. I mean, that's normal. That's how it is here in the U.S. Uh, Complaining, okay, it's their jobs to profit from you as much as possible. Oh, it's their job to profit from you as much as possible. Complaining isn't helping. Yep. That's how it is. You know, that's just how it is. That's like any business. You got to understand this. The idea of a business owner, and this is why you have to take the risk sometimes to become the business owner, because the reward is really great, right? It can be really, really amazing, the type of rewards that you can get. Because, like, let's say, for example, like right now, I'm opening up my, my agency, right? I already started. I'm doing it on my own, me, and I already got a designer. Now, when I come in and I hired another developer, like my goal is to hire, 2 developers and start them off at $65,000 to $70,000. That's $140,000 that I need for the first year. Okay. Now I could go ahead and make half of the money on my own, and then the other money could come in from the business. Okay. So then if things doesn't go as good as I want it to be, because remember, the first year of business is hard. You gotta make sure you have enough to survive. So let's say $140,000 for to have two developers working full time under me. Now, for me taking that risk, investing $140,000 on myself and on my company, the rewards could be $400,000, $600,000. Okay. Now, most people won't invest their own money. Somebody right now could have $100,000 in their pocket, right? And I know a lot of developers that have $100,000 in their pocket, and they could survive with $100,000. You could survive 2 years. 2 years to build any type of application, any type of business, any type of thing that you can build on your own. You can start it off. But most people will not go and take the risk. So then what happens? They stay at where they at. They continue earning the little bullshit $100,000 for the rest of their lives, right? While the guy that decided, you know what, I'm going to take this savings and I'm going to invest it on myself. Okay? I always bring in the example of CodingPhase.com because it's like a really good example that you guys can all learn from. When I came into CodingPhase, right, I wasn't expecting to create no freaking courses or anything. But then once I decided, you know what, I'm going to help people out, I'm going to do this, right? There was nobody. Everybody that's been here, y'all know, I had like a $5 special. Like, you could sign up to CodingPhase.com for $5. And that was because we only had 2 courses, right? There wasn't enough product for me to be able to charge, $20, $25, whatever it was. I didn't have enough content for it to be worth that. So at the end of the day, I wasn't making no freaking money at all for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Now, most people would not invest their savings on themselves, right? They'll be like, nah, this shit is too risky. I could just lose everything, right? Or I could just waste my time and this shit don't go nowhere. You got to invest in yourself and believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. Okay? Now, that, let's say 100,000 that it took me to invest in myself for me to survive 1 year and a half, almost 2 years, right? That already came back. You get what I'm saying? That already came back, right? But most people will not invest that in the beginning, right? They're too scared. And that's why people get stuck at where they're at, For me, I'm not scared to invest in myself. It's like now I sold one of my niche websites, and I got some money out of it. I sold Def Outlet, got some money out of it, right? I'm stacking up the money that I need to take care of my employees for, for the first year, 2 years. So it's like the first, I already have the money for the first year. Now I'm trying to get the money for the second year. Okay. So that's why I'm working hard and doing all this other stuff that I'm doing, to be able to have that income for 2 years, where I could say, man, if I hire somebody for 2 years, you know, the way how I look at it is like, okay, the first year we're gonna get some income coming in, but it's gonna take until the second year to really develop a brand, to develop an agency, develop, going to conferences, going to meetup groups, going to all of the things that we need to go to, like, there's meetups for business and entrepreneurs here in Tampa. So we want to make a name. We want to have some extra money so we could sponsor the local high school. So when people see our brand in their CP agency, get everything from web development done for you, etc. When they see those banners everywhere, people call in. You get what I'm saying? That could take a year for you to build a solid brand. But I have to invest in myself. I could easily say this shit could not work. This shit could easily not work. How many people open up businesses and shit folds, right? And to be honest with you, shit, not everything that I do is successful. But you know what? I try so many different things and I've done so many different things that at least 1 or 2 out of 4 always works. So that's why I got my hands in so many different things, because you got to keep trying. You got to invest in yourself no matter what. And that's the thing, you know. Cheers from Brazil. Shout out to my people in Brazil, you know. Shout out to my people in Brasilia. You already know. All my people in on my mulher with the bundas, you know. I love the coup. You know what I mean? Give me that coup, ma. Oh man. There's always that one dislike that pops up. Haters in the building. Shout out to the haters, man. Hey Joe, have you ever checked out Igor256? He got a lot of advice from management point of view. Never heard of him. I could check him out though. Change things in life, man. Otherwise it becomes boring. Change things in life. Yeah. I legit change every 1 or 2 years. Yeah. I try to do it. I don't like to do it every 1 or 2 years. Every 1 or 2 years, I try to do it every 3 to 5 years. I like to reinvent myself, right? Like, look, I came into the game, like, even before this, like, well, I could break it down from you. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing music, right? I was doing producing. I did that for like 3, 4 years. No, probably like 5 years. I was doing it from like 15 to 20. From there, reinventing myself. Left that shit alone. I ain't like that industry. Went back to school. Okay? Went back to school, did my 2 years, 3 years, etc. Right? I had already been in school, but then I had left it when I was like 18. And I went back into college again when I was like 20. So by the time I was like 24, I was already graduated. But and then from there, I was doing IT work. I was in that world of IT. I realized that wasn't for me. Then my 3, 4 years of the whole IT world. Then from there, I did, affiliate marketing and programming at the same time. So I was doing both of them. I got a job as a developer, right? I did my couple of years working as a full-time developer. At the same time, I was doing affiliate marketing and niche websites. Then now, reinventing myself again when I was, like 29, 28, 29, reinventing myself, started doing YouTube, something new, right? Something new. Even though I did YouTube before, but this is like a new adventure, right? We could say a new adventure to talk about code and things like that, or sharing my experience. I never really did that before. So did that, Now we reinvented ourselves, we did the YouTube thing, we did the CodingPhase, we did the courses, online training, etc. Now we're doing another stage in our lives, which is now we have our own agency. We're working on applications and working on themes. And you know what? After this, I feel like I'm going to have enough capital where I could get into the things that I really want to do, which is, get into real estate, get into commercial real estate franchises, That's something that I really want to get into. Okay, because as you can see, McDonald's is always packed. Dunkin' Donuts always packed. You know, Burger King always packed. It doesn't matter where you put it. There's a bag. The problem is you need a lot of capital to get into that game. And it's just like that. It's just I continue growing and reinventing myself. Joe, I had a coworker who was supposed to be fired. He got so desperate that he begged the boss to pay him half what he was making and told the owner that he licked his balls just to get a check. Yo. Yo, you crazy. I don't know about that. That sounds crazy. Oh my God. Didn't work in the 3 years in IT help? No, because I didn't have 3 years in IT. When I say I was in the world of IT for 3 years, that's when I was going to school, right? So I was in school, I was like taking classes. I wasn't working. I only worked as an IT worker for like 6 months. And then I quit. That shit was not for me, you know? Sometimes you think like, sometimes you think like you want to become something. It's like right now, some of you guys are learning to code, right? And some of you guys are really enjoying it, right? But then when you go and work for somebody, they'll kill your whole mood. They'll kill your whole experience of you being a developer, because maybe they're assholes, maybe they're working on shitty projects, things like that. So maybe you'll be like, damn, I might not be wanting to do this, or maybe I don't want to work for nobody. I want to just work for myself because I enjoy coding. I just don't enjoy working for other people. It's like myself. I enjoy coding. I don't enjoy working for other people. You know? Yeah, my fault, guys. This thing disconnected. But like what I was saying is, like myself, I love to code. I just don't like to code for somebody else, because I know how much profit they get out of me, and that shit bothers me. That shit, you know what I mean? Like, I've been at companies where, like I said, we went in, we redid their whole websites, and in a month they got $8 million of profit because of all the changes and all the cool features that I added. They didn't tell me, Joe, add this. It's shit that I created and shit that I thought that would help the company, and I didn't get a dime from it. I only got my little salary. And to me, that always bothers me, because I'm like, how can I go and give like my intelligence and my intellect to somebody, and then I don't get paid accordingly? you know so that's why I don't like working for other people. Also too, co-workers, in this world of developers, there's a lot of people that are, a couple of dweebs, that you don't even enjoy working with. Like, there's people, just like how we see like random trolls and random this is and that. That's how it is in the tech industry. There's a whole bunch of dweebs in the game. It's like guys that, they used to get put in the locker room, in a fucking locker back in the days, right? And then they think they're special because they know how to code. It's like, nah, my dude, you used to get put in a fucking locker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still look at you the same way. You know what I mean? Like, you're not built like me. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of these guys, they get into positions, and little dweebs get into positions, and they think that they're better than you, or they this and that. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, you can code, but that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? So I always clash with those type of people. I can't deal with it. So I don't like working with other certain companies where there's like, the nerdy culture is at an all-time high. Like, I like to work with like the hipsters, right? The young dudes, the guys that, you know, it's like different crowds. Like, I don't like working with the nerdy dudes like that. I really don't, because we can't relate. The way how they think and the way how I think, it clashes all the time. So a lot of companies, you'll find those type of dudes in positions that are higher, because a lot of CEOs, they think, oh, this guy's a fucking nerd and he knows a lot. And it's like, he don't know shit. He just looks like a nerd. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I will clash with those type of individuals. That's why I never really like working full time for no companies. I just like to do my 6 months. It's like a 6 month bid. I like to use Creative Circle. Creative Circle gets me a job, and I go in there for 6 months, 9 months, and then I'm out of it. I work in another company, working on another cool project, and that's how I like to do it. I never like to work full time for anybody. No, but those are things that you learn with time. But yeah, man. Yep. The great ones. In fact, that's true. They look like nerds, but they don't know shit. And it's true. There's a lot of dudes like I don't look like a nerd, but I know a lot. Right? Somebody might come in and be like, "Oh, this dude really know his shit." It's like, yeah, I know a lot, my dude. Right? But there's a dude that comes in with the little fucking nerdy glasses, the fucking insecure personality, looking down when he's talking to the CEO, and the CEO's, oh, this guy's a nerd. This guy must know something, right? And it's like you go in there with a certain swag, a certain source, like, I don't know if this guy's the real developer and this and that. It's like, all right, cool. I don't need to be here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the thing. It's so funny. Every employer that ever hired me, they were always shocked. They're like, oh, wow, Joe, I didn't know you know so much about this. Oh, wow, Joe, I didn't know you had so many ideas about this. And I'm looking around like, motherfucker, like, you don't know me. You don't even know what I do. You know what I mean? I just come here, I give you my time, and I give you the ideas that I want to give you. I give you ideas that are like my extra shit. You know, somebody hit me up the other day. It's like, Joe, why you giving these ideas online? I'm like, bro, this is my extra shit. I don't give my real shit, the shit that really makes money. You think I'm going to give it to a company? Hell no. Fuck them. Like, for that, I keep it to myself. Yeah, man. I'm going to see you guys later, man. Joe with the mask, weird flex. Listen, man, I'm out of here, bro. I'm gonna see you guys later. Take care, right, guys? Get myself a little sandwich here.